Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Today is September 12, 2025, and welcome to our pre-bidding conference for services. Uh, we will start with an opening prayer, and may I call Engineer Mingy Betty.
Let us all stand. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us here today for the pre-bid conference. Guide our minds and hearts so that all decisions we make are fair, transparent, and in accordance with your will. Bless the participants and the committee with wisdom, integrity, and cooperation. May this activity serve the best interest of the public we are called to serve. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Engineer Nils. At this point, may I call our back secretariat, Ma'am Rowena, to please call the roll.
Good afternoon again, attendance for this briefing conference. Back Chairman of IC, Ali Engineer Roel F. Padeza, Vice Back Chairman, Engineer Alvaro Isilipumba, regular members, Ms. Leah Inabitungit, and Engineer C. Marcos Estacanay, Provisional Member, Engineer Mabel Epsaa, Head Back Secretariat, Engineer Jennifer Imbanaan, Back Secretariat Members, Engineer Ida Marlinda Villaroy, members, Mr. Efren Paderas and yours truly, Head Back DPWH, Engineer Grace P. Julian, members, Engineer Ionic Grace P. Dampios, Engineer Nino DPT, and Mr. Abdul Vapor Embarkman. Programmer, Mr. Theodore Kirby Salcedo. Leaders, representatives, leaders, from Brave Knight Security Agency, Miss Lovely Rose Lavita and Miss Mary Grace Y. Gayero. From Tongstar Security Agency Corporation, retired FAC Major Rinaldo Lina, and from Special Coordinates Incorporated, Mr. Ramil Torres, and from Five Gate Security Agency, Mr. Melvin Campos. That's also.
Thank you, Ma'am Wen. So, majority of the back members and the DWG are present, so we are in forum. So, again, welcome to the pre-bidding conference for the procurement of security services for DPWH Cagayan de Oro City, First District Engineering Office for 3 months. With a contract ID 25GKH07 with an approved budget for contract of 760,495 pesos and 16 centavos. So at this point, may I call on the programmer, Mr. Theodore Salcedo, to discuss to us the details of this services.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'll be discussing about the procurement of goods and services of the security services of this office. So the approved budget for this project is 760,495.16 pesos as stated earlier. And these are the technical specifications. So for the provision of security services for DPWH CDO First District Engineering Office for 3 months, there are 10 security personnel, which includes 1 head guard and 9 security guards. These are the specifications that we will be discussing one by one. The following slide. Chibagal. So for Annex A, is the minimum qualifications of security officers and security guards. This agency shall provide, the agency shall provide 10 security personnel inclusive of one head guard who are between 21 to 50 years old, must be at least high school graduate, has undergone pre-licensing training programs for new recruits or refresher training programs for security guards with more than 1 year experience, of good moral character and without criminal or police records, supported by the unexpired NBI clearance to be submitted to DPWH upon effect of the contract. Physically and mentally fit as evidenced by the latest medical certificate, drug test result, and neuropsychological exam to be submitted to DPWH upon the effect of the contract. Duly. Yes, sir.
Sa atong prospective bidders, pwede man mo forward, ma'am, para makita ninyo itong presentation. Pag-lisod. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Six, duly trained and skilled to function as head guard and security guards, supported by an expired security license and certificates of training to be submitted upon effect of the contract. Knows how to deal pleasantly and courteously with personnel, clients, and the general public. Supported with a certification from the security agency to be submitted to DPWH upon effect of the contract. Annex B is the minimum security equipment or paraphernalia required. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, later na lang ang query or can Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the BAC. Mr. Chair, if I may ask, kung pwede na ba kami mag inquire regarding atong requirements?
Sir, questions will be after na lang sa presentation.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Take note on the mga questions, sir. We'll address later. Okay, so summary of requirements for the paraphernalia is one, operational, functional, and well-maintained firearms with valid license in the name of the security agency. Handgun, two, quantities two, shotgun with sufficient ammunition, one. VHF portable handheld radio, at least 5 kilometers radius of coverage. Metal detector, under chassis mirror, raincoats and rain boots, large umbrella, sufficient log books to record day-to-day activity. For the security uniform, perishing cap or bull cap, name cloth, company cloth, belt, flashlight with batteries, first aid kit or pouch, holster, nightstick or baton, whistle with chain, black shoe with lace, black socks, white and blue shirt, handcuffs for each guard. Insurance set. So for Annex C is the organizational structure of the security force. Headed by the headquarters security agency. Under is the head security guard or the security in charge, which under din niya ang mga security guards. For Annex D is the security guards assignments or tour of duty. This is just an example, sir, sa ilang pag-designate sa ilang schedule. Kaya magdepende man ang schedule sa agency kung saan nila pa disseminate. For Annex E is the operating policies and procedures. We'll start with service level agreement for the general conditions. The agency agrees that the DPWH reserves the right to screen and accept or deny the deployment of any personnel recommended by the contractor. The deployed 9 security guards shall work 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday, 3 shifts, while the head guard reports on Monday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, the security personnel may be requested to provide assistance outside the regular working hours or during weekends or holidays upon the written approval of the office head. The DPWH has the right to effect changes in the assignment or deployment of the security personnel at any time during the contract period. Likewise, the DPWH may increase or decrease the number of security guards as may be necessary and reserves the right to increase, reduce, or limit the scope of services of the contractor. In such event, any corresponding adjustment in the cost shall not exceed the contract price. The agency shall make available relievers and/or replacements at all times to ensure continuous and uninterrupted services. The agency shall pay its personnel not less than the minimum wage and other benefits mandated by the law. The contractor shall comply with the laws governing labor standards and employees' compensation. A certificate for the purpose shall be required from the contractor. The agency shall submit along with the monthly billing statement, receipts, and prescribed reports stamped received by SSS, PhilHealth, or Pag-ibig as proof of remittance for SSS, but PhilHealth and Pag-ibig premiums of the security personnel assigned in the DPWH. The agency shall submit the biodata or resume, NBI clearance, medical certificate, drug test, neuropsychological exam, unexpired licenses such as firearm license, individual security guard license, certificates of training of the assigned security guards and detachment commander upon effect of the contract. The agency, in the performance of its services, shall secure, maintain, at its own expense all registration, licenses, or permits required by law, and shall comply with all pertinent rules and regulations. The contractor's personnel shall take all necessary precautions for the safety of all persons and properties at or near their area of work and shall comply with all the standards and established safe regulations, rules, and practices. The agency shall provide the personnel with appropriate uniforms, protective gear, if necessary, and ensure that they shall observe proper personal hygiene and appear neat and clean at all times. The agency shall ensure that safety shall be the first priority in the performance of its functions, and avoid the creation of safety hazards both in the condition of the work performed and while doing the work. So these are the specific conditions for the agency's security guards and head guard. During the pre-deployment phase, in coordination with DPWH management and outgoing security contractor, the incoming security contractor shall organize an advanced team who will conduct a pre-deployment orientation on site. At the expense of the winning bidder, the said advanced team will render duties side by side with the personnel of the outgoing security provider 2 days before the formal assumption. During the service takeover or the deployment phase, a minimum of 8 hours before expiration of the security contract of the outgoing security contractor, the incoming security force listed in the manning detail order must attend a briefing to be conducted by the DPWH security coordinator. Thereafter, they shall be posted alongside with the outgoing security guards to get acquainted with the new assignments. With the consent of the officers of both parties, staffs of the outgoing security provider shall pass through the security searching and frisking procedures upon their departure from the premises of DPWH. All office equipment, furniture, painting, vehicles, and other items with significant value that is to be brought outside the DPWH compound shall be accompanied by gate pass issued by authorized DPWH property officer of the Supply Property Management Unit Administrative Section. Authorized representative of the outgoing security contractor shall be required to make proper endorsement of accountability to the authorized representative of the incoming security contractor in the presence of the authorized DPWH representative prior to their departure. a list of incoming security personnel who will take over duties at the DPWH together with their individual resume and expired licenses shall be submitted to the DPWH supervising administrative officer or the general services officer for review and approval. So during the actual takeover of duties at the DPWH, the security guards shall be accompanied and closely supervised by a senior official of the incoming security contractor or the agency. All incoming security personnel who will assume to take over duties shall report in proper uniform with headgears and paraphernalia, prescribed equipment, and all necessary documents such as duty detail order, guard's license, copy of firearms license, and individual company ID. Security contractor will provide the security force with the minimum equipment required under the bidding rules such as vehicles, firearms, VHF radios, and other equipment deemed necessary in the effective implementation of security policies, rules, and regulations of DPWH. Fuel for the service vehicle will be shouldered by the agency. The security contractor will also provide the daily time record, other logistical supplies such as logbooks, printers, ink, bond papers, uniforms, and paraphernalia. Act as a liaison with DPWH management, provide guidance to the detachment commander, extend managerial support to the detachment commander, procure supplies and equipment that are needed by the security force, provide assistance to the members of the security force assigned at DPWH, monitor the daily operations of the security force at DPWH installations, provide security-related services like VIP escort, background investigation, surveillance, and other duties as the DPWH management may direct. Coast guards shall perform the following: operate and enforce the system of personal identification, observe and patrol designated perimeters, areas, structures, and activities of security interest, apprehend persons attempting or gaining unauthorized access to restricted areas and those committing unlawful acts, check depositories, rooms, or buildings of security interest at any time, in addition to the normal working hours, to determine that they are properly locked and are otherwise in order. Respond to protective alarm signals and or indicators of suspicious activities of lawless elements. Submit reports of any unusual incidents and perform other duties as DPWH and or the security agency may direct. The main or back gate security guard shall perform the following: control flow or traffic and direct drivers to park vehicles properly and in designated parking areas. Guide office vehicles parked inside the vacate area to be used in weekly flag service, which happens every first working day of every week. Safeguard and protect parked vehicles from pilferage of accessories and other attachments. Do not allow DPWH vehicles and employees to leave the compound during working hours without necessary trip ticket and gate pass duly signed by the authorized signatory. Maintain a logbook on the arrival and departure of DPWH vehicles. Control the parking of vehicles of visitors to the designated parking area. Employees' vehicles shall be allowed entry and to park in the designated area for privately owned vehicles. When departing, however, their vehicles shall be subjected to inspection as DPWH vehicles. Enforce all existing DPWH security rules and regulations. This includes, but not limited to, strictly implement closing of front gate at all times. Strictly impose locking of gate during ongoing flag ceremony to avoid any disturbance. Conduct inspection of all offices inside the building after office hours to switch off all electrical equipment neglected by all DPWH employees. Screen visitors with utmost courtesy and issue appointment form to the visitors for them to fill out and submit forms for approval to concerned personnel. Notify by phone the official or employee to be visited. Guide them to the office they desire to transact business once appointment form is approved. Switch off all necessary perimeter security lights within area of his responsibility at 5 o'clock in the morning. submit reports of any unusual incidents, and perform other duties as DPWH and or the security agency may direct. The roving guards shall perform the following. All roving guards must politely guide, check, and observe situations of visitors within area of responsibility. Guide visitors to their office destination. Check and prevent unauthorized persons from loitering in the corridors or entering offices without official business or transactions. Check all office equipment and appliance before or after office hours. See to it these office equipment and appliances are in proper places, and then lock all office after determining that everything is secure. See to it that all lights are switched off and all electrically operated equipment and appliances are unplugged when occupants of an office are all out. Submit reports of DPWH personnel and non-DPWH personnel with suspicious illegal activities, including overnight stay within DPWH compound without approval from immediate supervisor. Impose all existing DPWH security rules and regulations. Be familiar with the location of firearm system and firefighting apparatus. Be alert at all times, submit reports on any unusual incidents, and perform other duties as DPWH or agency may direct. The main building guards shall perform the following. Enforce DPWH rules and regulations. Screen visitors with utmost courtesy and guide them to office they desire to transact business. Notify by phone the official or employee to be visited. Prohibit individuals or groups from loitering in the lobbies or building entrances with utmost courtesy. Prohibit vendors or solicitors from entering the office during working hours. Inspect thoroughly using metal detector all bags, packages, and other touching case hand carried by visitors. Maintain a logbook for visitors and separate logbook for office personnel. Conduct inventory of movable equipment in the office. Be familiar with the fire alarm system as well as the location of firefighting apparatus. Submit reports on any unusual incidents and perform other duties as DPWH and or the security agency may direct. Head guard shall perform the following. Has overall responsibility of the members of the security force in the DPWH complex. Provide leadership and direction for the shift in charge and security guards. Responsible to the DPWH management for the implementation of all rules and regulations relevant to security matters. Monitor the performance and efficiency of guards and recommend the relief of misfits. Serves as liaison between the DPWH and the security agency. Prepare and submit daily morning reports, special reports, and incident reports, etc. Submit and prepare monthly guard detail order and daily security report and conditions of secured properties. Advise DPWH officials concerned regarding measures to be undertaken to improve the security of the building premises. Conduct troop information and education to all guards once a month or as the need arises. Perform other duties as DPWH and or the security agency may direct. For emergency plan operations, security personnel are enjoined to act during disaster, whether man-made or natural calamity. Below are the procedures to be followed. If a fire occurs, the fire cannot be extinguished. The guard shall immediately push the alarm button and initiate the following. Call the nearest fire department. Secure all entrance and exit doors and allow no one to enter the building except those authorized. All emergency exits shall be open. Identify and prepare safe place for evacuation and for temporary use by the victims. Observe a suspicious looking individual who could be a possible arson suspect. Record the event of fire from time to time. For example, color of smoke, speed of fire, location, and the origin of fire. This will help fire investigators in locating possible evidences. After the fire is contained and the building is declared safe by the experts, guards will allow no one to enter the gutted building except those authorized. For a bomb threat, the security personnel shall coordinate with the local government authorities and call the bomb disposal units and inform the fire department. Tighten security measures by implementing luggage control and body frisking. Cordon the area that is being identified by the caller and as much as possible note the location of the bomb. Execute an immediate search of the area if there is still enough time. If the bomb is found, do not touch. Cordon the area. There may be wires that can trigger the bomb to explode. Evacuate people in the nearby places that may be reached by the explosion. If the bomb squad expert already defused the bomb, execute a search for the second time to clear the area before allowing anybody to enter the place. Reported loss and incident of theft or robbery case. Upon receiving a complaint for loss of properties, the detachment commander shall immediately proceed to the scene of the crime for possible preservation and recovery of traces of evidence. If possible, take a photograph of the scene but do not touch anything. List down personnel present during the discovery of the loss. Conduct initial inquiry to the informant and other personnel that may have a knowledge about the case. Summon assistance from agency investigators if the need arises. Lodge the incident with the nearest police station that has jurisdiction of the place. Prepare incident report and submit the same to the security officer for proper coordination. Conduct investigation of the case and submit progress reports. For the traffic plan for normal and emergency situations. For normal situation, the rules and regulations on pedestrian and vehicle traffic shall be strictly implemented, such as car pass sticker, speed limit, designated parking, and no parking areas. Overnight parking, enforcement of safety helmet to motorcycle riders, and driving practice inside the compound. To prevent parking spaces to deplete, owners of vehicles who intend to park their vehicles overnight must secure approval from the district engineer. For emergency situations like a demonstration or rally being held within the premises or compound of DPWH, security personnel shall initiate action that will preempt a condition of chaos or mob rule. In the event, DPWH management will request for additional security personnel. The security agency will immediately dispatch the number of security guards requested to control the crowd, especially those who shall force to enter in order to sow chaos and disorderly conduct. During emergency situations, all stay-in, off-duty security guards shall be utilized to help stop the ongoing disturbance. In time of emergency, all security personnel and augmentation force shall be under the supervision of the Chief Administrative Section supervising Administrative Office or the GSO. All actions of the guards must be cleared by the detachment commander or the district engineer, chief of the administrative section, or the general services officer. In a hostage situation, this is a complicated case, so we normally course the handling of the case to an expert of the PNP or other law enforcement agency with expertise in this kind of situation. However, the guard in the area of responsibility facing this kind of situation can help by doing the following. Guards shall immediately notify DPWH management through the supervising administrative officer or the GSO, and at the same time, the nearest PNP unit of the hostage situation for immediate help. Guards must keep the line of communication open for the hostage taker and, if necessary, the hostage victim in order to determine the motive and purpose of the hostage taker. Guards must avoid being reckless and avoid confrontational approach with the suspect. Guards on duty shall not allow other people to intervene and might worsen the situation. Wait for the arrival of the PNP personnel and other government authorities who are experts in crisis management for hostage taking. Guards must coordinate with the PNP personnel and crisis management team for any information that they gather. For earthquakes, guards on post must immediately assist to the best of their ability to protect and evacuate to a safer area the concerned VIPs and employees of DPWH. Assist in sending immediately those employees hurt in the course of the quake the nearest hospital. Search for the other persons left in the building after evacuation and report all damages in properties and injured person to the supervising administrative officer or the GSO, as well as to the security agency. Moving on to the service standard. Secure all main entry exit doors and gates during and after office hours in order to prevent entry of people carrying deadly weapons, explosive, toxic chemicals, contraband items, prohibited drugs, and other harmful materials to prevent pilferage and any property destruction. Check entry of packages, boxes, equipment, firearms, and other deadly weapons, etc., to prevent destruction or loss of lives and properties, for example, bombs. For hand-carried items, the guards shall monitor by using a metal detector and frisk suspicious-looking people of deadly weapons, explosives, contraband items, prohibited drugs, and other harmful substances. Inspect all bags and parcels to ensure that no deadly paraphernalia brought inside the compound. Inspect the surroundings for suspicious objects which does not belong to the ground. Require individuals possessing firearms to leave or deposit the firearm to the security guard after issuing a deposit slip. Turn over to the nearest police station individuals who are found possessing deadly or other harmful materials and properties. Call the recipient of the delivery boxes to confirm whether or not he or she is expecting delivery boxes or properties. For vehicles of visitors, clients, and employees, maintain a record of departure and arrival of vehicle within client premises. The record will indicate the plate number, time in and out, the name of the driver, and the company. All vehicles entering the compound shall be subject to thorough inspections. The guard will require the owners to open its compartment for inspection if there are illegal contraband items on board, and if there is such, initiate arrest. Direct the inward and outward flow of traffic and apply existing parking regulations. Visitors who refuse to subject his vehicle for inspection shall be denied entry. The guards at the entrance gates must be equipped with the under chassis mirror for inspection under the vehicle. Check exit of package boxes, equipment, firearms, and deadly weapons. Hand-carried DPWH property brought out of the compound shall be accompanied with property pass slip signed by the authorized DPWH property officer. Guides shall deny the pull-out of the DPWH property that is not covered by pass slip. Guards must inspect and ensure that the property being brought out are indicated in the property slip or gate pass. They will record the name, kind of the equipment, including the serial number, person responsible, time and date. Sealed boxes brought outside the complex will be required for inspection. The gate guard will require the owner of every vehicle intending to leave the area to open its trunk compartment. If DPWH property is found on board, pass slip or gate pass shall be required. DPWH employees who are issued DPWH ID cards upon employment shall wear them at all times. Employees who do not have their ID cards must be advised to secure DPWH ID at the administrative section or the PIO, Public Information Office. Visitors are required to present or show valid identification such as school or office ID, voter's ID, or any valid ID. Before signing in on the logbook, they are requested to wait at the waiting area, fill out the appointment form, and wait for approval. Direct or guide lost visitor and other non-organic personnel who transacted business within the district. All guards at the entrance and exit areas shall maintain a logbook or log sheets for visitors. Logbooks must be kept in the security office and shall be made available when asked for verification purposes. Private vehicles driven by non-DPWH employees are requested to park outside the designated parking area. The guard shall direct the inward and outward flow of traffic and employ existing parking regulations. He or she must also direct traffic at the parking area to avoid congestion. For vendors, Vendors shall be allowed to enter only during noon break with proper identification and authorizations so as not to disturb employees at work. The guard shall record the time in and out of the vendor. Guards shall inspect the vendor's personal belongings for contraband items, weapons, and other materials that are dangerous to individuals. For contractors' personnel, monitor the entry of contractors' personnel working inside the DPWH compound. Require the contractor's personnel to present his authority. A request for repair in order for the guards to verify the veracity of the request by confirming with the issuing official. Personal belongings of these contractor employees shall be inspected when entering and departing the area. For the additional requirements, permit or wait. Okay, for the additional requirements, permit or license to operate a private security agency from PNP, SO, SIA. Dolly registration as agency providing services or skilled workers to principal under service agreement. Certificate of pending or no pending labor standard violations or cases issued by the NLRC and Dolly. Nalimot pigbutang pero within the last 2 years na siyang nakuha certificate of pending or no pending labor standard violation in the last 2 years. Certificate of membership by PADPAO or other associations recognized by the PNP, SO, SIA. Barred under Article 108 of the Labor Code as amended that the principal may require from the contractor or agency to be posted equal to the cost of labor under contract. Duty detail order of a written order, schedule, or assignment issued per security card. Proof of ownership of agencies, own security equipment, and service vehicles. Security plan with a notarized affidavit of site inspection. Certification of at least satisfactory performance from current clients within 2 years. Certification of at least satisfactory performance from previous clients within 2 years. And clearance from SSS, PHIC, and good standing certification from HDMF for calendar year 2022 to 2023. And this is concerned 2023 to 2024. So duly signed recruitment and selection criteria, duly signed completeness of uniforms and other paraphernalia, sample copy of payslip. Annex F, performance criteria. The duration of the contract to be bid shall be from October 2025 to January 2026, subject to performance evaluation before the end of each contract year based on the set of performance criteria. The service provider or contractor should maintain a satisfactory level of performance throughout the term of the contract based on the following set of the performance criteria. This is the performance criteria for number 1, quality of service delivered. Other quality service delivered is the implementation of control system at the workplace and jurisdiction for the safety and security to life and property is 20%, responsive to clients' needs, to complaints and or incident reports 10%, availability of firearms, communication devices and or motor vehicles 5%, courtesy and decorum 5%. For management and suitability of personnel, supervision and accountability 8%, qualification of assigned guards training for physical fitness and martial arts 7%, physical appearance such as uniforms and other paraphernalia 5%, change and or replacement of assigned guards 5%. For contract administration and management, assignment of guards at designated areas 10%, implementation of DPWH rules and regulations and compliance to other obligations per contract 8%, compliance to labor laws and social insurance regulations 7%. For time management, tasks which are important and urgent 3%, tasks which are either important or urgent but not both 1%, tasks which are neither important nor urgent but routine 1%. For provision of regular progress reports, exception or incident report, 2%. Monthly deployment report, 2%. Other reports that may be required by the administrative section, 1%. That totals 100%. This is the end of my slide.
So, thank you, Theodore. So, any questions regarding sa atong i-discuss?
That's it. Approved budget, 760,495.60 centavos. Any questions, sir?
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chair. By the way, I forget to introduce myself. I'm retired Major Reynaldo Linag from Telstar Security Agency, Cagayan de Oro branch. My first concern is that, as I have noticed, based on your requirement for the security guard, I noticed that you still required to produce the NBA clearance for the guards. I just would like to let the bank members that under the new law, the Republic Act 11917, the NBA clearance is no longer required. Instead, they only require to produce is the Philippine National Police clearance. The NBI is only for requirement for abroad, but in the security services, the Philippine National Police clearance is being required. The second is, may I know the total number of security guards that will render their duty on the third shift or the night shift? This is for the purpose of the night differential. Iba kasi yung rate sa day and for the night shift. Ilan po ang total number of security guards that will render their duty on the night shift?
So before we answer that question, first concern mo, sa update regarding sa NBA clearance. So we will look into it, sir, and then thank you for that observation. So whatever update, amo na sa changes sa tuwang general na sa tuwang general specifications. So we will put it in our bulletin, okay, for the announcement. And then regarding the second concern, Mr. Theodore, kindly answer the question.
Sir, right now, may tulong ka post yun ang mga security guards, which is the main gate, back gate, o ang roving o main building gate. Pagka gabiin na, same ra gyapon ang duty. Okay, shifting mo na sila.
Yeah, how do you formulate the total number of guards since we have 10? How many guards that render the duty on the first, the second, and the third?
Kita na ko ang sample na lang, sir, ha? Pero magdepende, magigapon na siya sa agency, sir, kung saan nila deploy.
No, it's not. The end user should be.
Yeah.
Pakita
sa, excuse me, sir. Kita sa ito yung example kanina. Kaya naman tayo.
Naman na shift, sir. 8 to 5.
Kani. So, 12, 8.
Mag-vary magud ang kuan. Mag-vary magud ang budget nato sa sa kuhan sa night differential, no?
So, sir, sa among sample or suggested nga sa ni schedule, so there are one gyud tulo,
Three.
three.
I believe
Every shift three.
every shift 3. Then the
Then
head guard.
ang hand guard is 8 to 5 lang
Correct.
siya.
Okay. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the other one is, since this is a short term of security procurement, this is only good for 3 months, I believe.
Yes, sir.
How many days, the total number of working days that should we apply in this contract? Since normally we have right now, as far as the DOLE, we have the 395 days, working days a year. That to include the number of holidays, regular holidays, and the special holidays, so on and so forth. So what particular number of working days do we apply?
Sa proposed budget na sir, is kanang 395 days is for the whole year, wala siya, di ba,
Yeah.
sir? So, ikuha na siya by 12 and by 3 na po din siya. Divide by 12 multiplied by 3. Since 3 months, naman niya siya contract.
So should we identify the holidays based on from October, November, December?
Wala na siya i-calculate dito, sir.
That's the purpose of that's the purpose of the total number of days, no? Kasi nandyan kasi masagasaan kasi yung ibang holidays dyan. All Souls Day, All Saints Day, Christmas, New Year.
Would like to ask Ma'am Leah to address concern of sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to share just an opinion regarding the period of employment or the period of contract that our agency and the security services will go into. So we have from October 2 to January 2, 2026, right? So I think it's no longer our concern, sir, but in your agency, how to maximize the deployment of your guards. Ay, inyo na siguro na, sir, kung sa ninyo, katong question mo mo kay masagasaan ang holidays. Kay, sa inyo na lang management, sir, para dili na kay, ang among contract sa inyo kay inclusive man from October 2, 2025 to January 2, 2026. So in my opinion, sa inyo na siguro na, sir, paano ninyo i-deploy yung mga guards during the holidays.
Thank you so much for that, ma'am. What I'm trying to explain here is that the security services, wala man gud ni siya exemption, no? Holiday, ordinary days. 24 hours ang gid ang serbisyo. namo sa inyo as the security. So anyway, ang ako lang untang ipasabot, Mr. Chairman, nga mag-matter man gud ang computation namo ani sa number of days, number of holidays naman. Within October 2 to January 2, kung amo gid ni siyang i-formulate, no? So, again, sa inyong ABC, makita man namo pilay amo mahimong proceeds, and of course, katong mga government contributions for our guards, operational expenses, etc. So, mao nang nag-inquire ko para gusto ko makaibalo kung asa mi dapat mo lugar sa inyong ABC. So kung inyo na lang ipapabaya sa amo sa computation, basta within the ABC lang, okay ra.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Sige, I will no longer tackle the admin fee, no? The most controversial issue, the administrative fee. Because under the new law, the 12009, the revised law for the 9184, the admin fee is no longer being required na mag-minimum na 20%. That would be all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Any other more questions? Before we proceed to the instruction of leaders. So hearing none, so may I? So I now ask Engineer Romelin Sillian to discuss the instructions to leaders.
Good afternoon, everyone, once again. For the procurement of security services for 25 GKH 07 with an NC of 760, 495, 495, and 16 centavo. The deadline for the buying of tender documents will be until September 24 at 9:30 AM only. While the deadline for the submission of bids will be on the same day until 10 AM. The opening of bids will be on the same day also, right after the deadline for the dropping of bids. Bidding documents may be purchased and bid proposals may be submitted through an authorized representative together with the original special power of attorney or the SPA for sole proprietorship or board partnership, joint venture, resolution with secretary certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, or cooperative, which is contract specific, and presentation of company and any valid government issued ID. For the submission and receipt of bids, we have two envelope system. First envelope shall contain the legal documents, technical documents, and the financial documents. The second envelope is the financial proposal. For the technical documents, it must contain the valid PhilJobs registration certificate for specifically a platinum membership, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or the SEC, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent documents. Mayors or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective leaders is located. Tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as financially reviewed and approved by the BIR. Also, it is required to submit the statement of prospective bidders ongoing government and private contracts. Here is the standard form for the said requirement. Next is the SLCC or the single largest completed contract with the specified format. Next is the bid security. For the bid security, we have four form of bid security: the cashier's manager's check, bank guarantee, drafts or irrevocable LC, surety bond, callable upon demand, bid security declaration. Only one form of bid security among the allowed forms is required to be submitted for the participating bidders. Here is the format for the BSD. Next is the technical documents, technical specification rather, with the format specified format. Next is the original and duly signed revised omnibus sworn statement. And for the financial documents, we have the audited financial statement and the NFCC. For joint venture, it is required to submit the joint venture agreement, duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners that they will be enter into the and abide with the provision of the GBA in the instance that the bid is successful. For the second envelope, which is the financial component, first document we require is the bid form. And the price schedule or the bill of quantities. Here is the standard format for the bill of quantities. And the original and duly signed accomplishment. I'm sorry. For other matters. For the post qualification. According to DEO number 127 series of 2018. The strict application of RA 9184, the conduct of post qualification of the bidders with delayed ongoing contract in the DPWH. We strictly apply, among others, during the conduct of post qualification forward the following guidelines: the verification of the bidders SLCC, and the verification of the competence and experience of the bidders' key personnel assigned for the contract. And for the three strike policy, for the three strike, we have three offenses that will be considered for the three strike. First is the withdrawal from the bidding process, the submission of late bids, and the submission of patently insufficient bids. For more information, you can contact the numbers and the email ad below, and the screen, if you have inquiries. Thank you, that's Mr. Chair. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Roms. So, any questions or clarifications regarding the presentation? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, before I forget, Mr. Chair, may I know who completed our ABC? Gusto lang ako mahibawaan kung nakabase ba ang ating computation sa atong ABC sa 20% na admin fee.
Ang nag-compute for the ABC sir was katong na-discuss kanina, no, pero ang ato pong nakita dito sa inyong computation nga wala na naka-include na katong administrative fee 20%.
Which means open siya. Ang ako magbubot pasabot niya sa inyong pag-formulate sa inyong budget. Ano morning sa diba sa katong mga government contributions. Then isa din na ka-item is ng administrative fee or agency fee. Although dili ta mag-require na minimum admin fee ta dinhi sa during bidding kay kung LCB man ta responsive. Ang ako lang pangutan naman kung ang basis nato sa atong budget is naka-base pag siya 20%, which is namagwita siya sa department order no sa DOLE sa 150-16 as well as the Republican 11917 section 9 the 20% should be the admin fee. Muna akong gusto may bawaan kay namagwita na sa balaod. Although wala man kung mag-require nga mo ginisundon sa among bid offer, pero dapat ang basis nato, if I may just suggest, naka-base dito sa 20 sa total contract cost.
Noted, sir. Ako sa i-double check, sir, ha?
Please, thank you.
Yes, sir. Ako sa
We will provide it later. Or it's later. So any other concerns? So hearing none, I think that's it. That ends our pre-bidding conference for contract ID number 25GK07. So thank you very much everyone for coming once again. Good afternoon.